Hi everybody. In the last several videos we've been talking about Dr. Bredesen's first book published in 2017 that had served as the first playbook for my dad, The End of Alzheimer's, the first program to prevent and reverse cognitive decline. We've specifically been talking about the ReCODE Protocol, which he details in the book, ReCODE for Reversal of Cognitive Decline, which is a personalized protocol that addresses multiple factors contributing to someone's cognitive issues, bringing them back to optimal ranges and helping patients reverse disease and symptoms. Dr. Bredesen's team has helped hundreds of people reverse their cognitive decline, establish mild cognitive impairment, and Alzheimer's disease with this protocol as evidenced in successful studies in 2014, 2018, 2022, and current clinical trials. In the last several episodes, we've been talking about the big four core areas of the protocol Dr. Bredesen regards to be the most important for everyone because they often make the biggest difference in helping prevent and reverse Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. He abbreviates these as DESS for diet, exercise, sleep, and stress reduction. Building off of these big four, next up is resolving inflammation. Dr. Bredesen has found that inflammation is one of the most important drivers of cognitive decline, and it feeds directly into the Alzheimer's disease mechanisms. Resolving inflammation is therefore critical to reversing cognitive decline. Once a patient's lab tests on the cognoscopy have determined why the inflammation is present, Dr. Bredesen recommends a three-pronged approach to reducing it. Number one, resolve the current inflammation with SPMs. Okay, what are SPMs? SPM stands for Specialized Pro-Resolving Mediators. Okay, but what is that? Our body naturally produces these molecules called resolvins, protectins, and mucins at the site of inflammation and helps the immune system complete its response to infection or other inflammatory threats to return to a baseline of healthy and non-inflammatory state. The body basically produces SPMs to close out an inflammatory response and calm things back down. If the body is not doing this on its own, we can take SPMs in supplement form to provide the missing resolution factors while we're working to remove the underlying causes of the inflammation, which are most commonly poor diet and chronic infections. Number two, inhibit new inflammation. Dr. Bredesen recommends doing this with natural anti-inflammatory compounds found in nutritional powerhouses like omega-3 essential fatty acids, the most important of the three being DHA, curcumin, a potent polyphenol found in turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, thyme, all green leafy vegetables, especially beets and broccoli to name a few. Of this list, the two most potent natural and anti-inflammatories that have shown excellent results for Dr. Bredesen's team and in countless other published studies are omega-3 essential fatty acids and curcumin. Now, Bredesen does not recommend regularly using non-steroidal anti-inflammatories such as ibuprofen because constant intake can really damage our guts, livers, and kidneys. Natural compounds can often produce similar, if not better effects while nourishing our bodies with little to no side effects. Number three, remove all inflammatory sources. It isn't much good to treat inflammation if you also keep triggering it. So it is critical to prevent exposure to what Dr. Bredesen calls inflammagens. There is often more than one source, but here have been the common offenders Bredesen's team have repeatedly seen trigger inflammation and drive cognitive decline in patients. Leaky gut, a diet high in simple carbohydrates and sugar, trans fats, chronic infections like Lyme disease, other tick-borne infections like Babesia and Bartonella, viral infections like herpes simplex and Epstein-Barr, fungal infections like Candida, mold infections from Aspergillus and Penicillium that can grow in our water-damaged homes and buildings, parasitic infections like Giardia, and bacterial infections like P. gingivalis in our mouths, H. pylori in our stomachs, Clostridia in our guts, and more. Many of these chronic infections can fly under the radar and not really be picked up by standard lab tests for years. They can start out as this low-grade inflammation that's quietly in the background, and we can grow to tolerate it without noticing too much. As the years go on, these infections rob us of our vitality and essential nutrients, fatigue our immune systems and adrenals, and leave us in a vulnerable position to break down if we happen to face a crisis that pushes us to the brink. This is why it's important to root out all these possible sources whenever the inflammatory markers on labs come back positive. And I'd love to hear from you. What are your favorite natural anti-inflammatory foods, herbs, or supplements? If you found this information helpful, please feel free to share this video with anyone you think it could serve. And remember, I'm not a doctor. I don't have a PhD. I'm a caregiver and citizen researcher on the ground, helping a loved one, someone just like you. This information is for educational purposes only. Please consult your medical practitioner before implementing any changes. Thank you for watching. My dad thanks you. Hope these resources are helpful to you and your family, and see you in the next video. Thanks.